Hey everyone, this is Trucker Wayne on Facebook, Wayne Craig on LinkedIn. I'm coming to you today for a public service announcement because we all know that they're not doing anything on the higher levels of trying to get truckers to stay into the industry. And I'm just here to talk a little bit about if I was doing a public service announcement governmental wide, so everybody in the United States could actually hear me talk on the public service announcement, it would go like this. We really, as a country, need to understand how important drivers are. Here's where I'm saying. We can say, thank a trucker. We can even write a we thank a trucker. What I'm talking about is some of the bigger issues, like, for example, at the end of last year, I was in LA and I was trying to make a really, really wide right turn. Done it before in LA a bunch of times, and the car was coming on the other side, and there was no stopping him. And I had to cut my right turn short because he was coming no matter what. And I've called this pandemic speeding, whatever you want to talk about. More people died, and I brought that up in 17 years in 2020. In 17 years, more people have died on the roads. And I cut that short, and I ended up nicking the trailer. I fixed it myself. But here's the issue is there were things happening out on the road right now that I used to, when I would run on the road, maybe run into it once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month. And it was happening to me daily. And not only happening daily, it's a lot of times, multiple times. Many of you saw the dash cam videos that I was posting, and I didn't want to be known as just a dash cam truck driver. But we really need the campaign to say, listen, to the American public, is we got to start when we're around the trucks, respect them because they are doing a job. Now, this is what worries me the most, is because of the disrespect we are seeing more and more out there. Part of the disrespect is because of this turnover. We can't seem to keep people that want to stay in the industry and sitting behind the seat and driving. And when you just keep doing this, somebody in the biz for 6 months, they don't care about leaving that shit bag. It really comes down to the motoring public making sure, seriously making sure that they respect our space out there on the road. It's a big deal. I wouldn't be surprised. Here's another thing too, because truckers are driving a little bit more aggressive as well. If you didn't know, 2 years in a row, truckers' deaths went up 2 years in a row. I haven't seen the 2020 stats yet, but it'd be interesting to see if it went up for a third. Every single metric, every single data point that I'm looking at is telling me things are going in the wrong direction. But yet, we constantly have changes in regulations. Here's the thing too. If I had a public service announcement, I would say quit making all the rules under the guise of safety. As soon as they say safety, the motoring public just jumped right on board and said it's all our fault, it's all safety. Under the guise, they just say safety, safety, safety. Let me tell you a little bit about safety. I used to get mad. I'm going to talk about a couple different countries. I'm not going to name any names, of course. One company in particular would send out these mass messages. Don't do this, don't do that. We're seeing speeding tickets and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there driving behind a wheel, not getting speeding tickets. They're just sending these things out. Why? Because they have to, for insurance purposes and everything else. They just have to. And it's under the guise of safety. And they're not picking and choosing the people and the truckers they know that are at a high risk of doing that. Secondly, so many times I get messages in another company and talking, everything is safety. And okay, so the speed limit's 80. And let's say, let's do it this way. Speed limit is 70 miles per hour in Idaho, right? And you're governor at 65, and this speed limiter thing goes off at 68. If you hit 69, oh my God, you're speeding. Then their message comes out and says, hey, you're speeding, and then you're in a hurry. You're all of a sudden, the safety guys say you're in a hurry. And I'm sitting there going, no, I'm going to frickin' speed limit. So, and why do they do that? Because safety and the way our insurance is right now, because of all the nuclear verdicts, they have to do that to get the insurances down. So I get all that. But I'm talking about a driver. I'm talking about a person behind the wheel. We have taken the humanness out of truck driving. We are treated as a number, as a regulation, as a safety data point, and we have totally taken out, since the 8 years I've been in here, we have totally taken out the emotion of that driver being behind the wheel and just basically say, you're a number, you're a safety thing. Of course, we got to keep you safe. But it's not a person anymore. It's not me sitting behind the wheel going, okay, I'm respected overall. It's not like that at all. In the 8 years I've been in this business, it has went like this. No metric that I've watched said it's getting greater and greater. And listen, I'm going to stop this public service announcement this way. I called almost a year ago. I called the true driver shortage. There are arguments whether or not a true driver shortage before the pandemic. And now, I just read that one guy was recommending to the shippers to go a week in advance for trucks so they would show up, and hope they show up, because we're that low on trucks right now. And I keep saying we're not going to be able to move America where we need to move forward if we don't have enough truck drivers. Everything I've been reading, also all the data points say nobody has seen it like this. But yet I'm the lone person out there going, no, this is the way we're treating issue. This is the way truck drivers are human, and we're being treated as a safety aspect where it's just nothing but safety shoved down our throats. I'm also saying the way they're driving around us in the motoring public because of the pandemic has went out the window. So we're getting way more aggressiveness out of the passenger vehicles, and it adds up and it adds up. And then you take the less truck drivers coming into the system because of the coronavirus. We're at a perfect storm here, people. We got to talk about this as a nation, not just Wayne on LinkedIn and on Facebook, and not just talking. One of the other things was I've been on this autonomous truck kick, and we need to talk about keeping the drivers now, okay? Now, and we're not talking about now. We're talking about things happening 2-3 years down the road. Another administration, another thing, talk safety. It's all about safety. Yeah, well, when there's no truck drivers to pull the American economy forward, then it won't matter about safety, will it? So this is Trucker Wayne on Facebook, Wayne Craig on LinkedIn. I'm out. Peace.